Welcome back to Hoops Insider. Something big just dropped in the WNBA world, and it has the entire league buzzing for all the wrong reasons. Stick around until the end because we are going to unpack exactly what went down, why it matters, and where this whole mess is heading next. For nearly 3 decades, the WNBA struggled to stay in the spotlight. Then one player arrived and suddenly the arenas are packed, the TV numbers are exploding, and serious money is flowing in. You would think the people running the league would be thrilled. Instead, according to Wnba Smith, the commissioner and her top staff are furious. He is saying they might actually be trying to undercut the very player who is carrying the whole product. This is not basketball drama anymore. This is about ego, control, and pure corporate jealousy. If you are finding value in this breakdown, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. We are grinding toward 1,000 subscribers here at Hoops Insider, and every single one of you helps us get there. It takes 2 seconds and it is completely free. Already subscribed? Appreciate you more than you know. So is this the most self-destructive move a sports league has ever made, or has the front office simply lost the plot? Drop your take in the comments. Now let's dig into what actually happened. A brand new commercial starring Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever started making the rounds. On the surface it looks like a normal big brand ad. Behind the scenes, though, WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert and the league's highest-ranking executives went ballistic. We are talking closed-door meetings filled with tension, angry phone calls, and what Wnba Smith described as pure rage coming from the top. Think about how backwards that reaction is. A high-production national commercial starring your biggest star is supposed to be a gift. It pulls in millions of new eyes and puts money in everyone's pockets. Any smart league would flood social media with the ad, send out press releases, and ride the wave. The WNBA did the opposite. They got jealous. And Wnba Smith is not guessing. He is putting his name on it. Smith has defended Clark all year, but his latest comments went much deeper. He is not talking about hard fouls or on-court trash talk. He is talking about a toxic atmosphere inside league headquarters. The people who should be celebrating the sudden boom are instead filled with anxiety because one athlete has become bigger than the organization itself. Why did this particular commercial set them off so hard? In these polished spots for major brands, Clark is not presented as just another player on a WNBA roster. She is framed as a full-blown cultural force. The lighting, the editing, the production quality, everything screams superstar. To the people running the league, that image feels dangerous. She looks independent. She looks powerful. Worst of all, she looks bigger than the WNBA. Fans have been waiting forever for a real signature shoe from Clark. She is 2 seasons in and we finally have the logo and some merch, but the actual shoe is still the thing everyone is watching for. She went back on the New Heights podcast recently and talked about the technology going into it. For fans, that is pure excitement. For executives like Engelbert, it represents something else entirely, a total loss of control. The league did not create that commercial. They did not write the script. They did not approve the creative direction. They are watching someone else build the narrative around their biggest star. And that star does not need the league the way most players do. Clark has her own money, her own platform, and her own gravitational pull. That kind of independence is exactly what is driving the anger Smith keeps describing. In most sports leagues, the athletes depend on the organization for exposure and a paycheck. That gives the league leverage. Clark flipped the script. Everyone knows her off-court earnings dwarf her WNBA salary. Money equals power, and that level of independent power scares people who are used to calling all the shots. Sources say the timing of the ad made everything worse. All season long the league has pushed a team-first message. They keep trying to spread the spotlight, talk about the history, talk about the sisterhood, talk about everyone else. Then a 30-second commercial lands and shreds that narrative in one clean cut. It reminds the audience that the real excitement is not coming from the commissioner's office. It is coming from the kid out of Iowa who can shoot from the logo. Putting Clark's slick, expensive commercials next to the league's own outdated marketing only makes the contrast more painful. It highlights how far behind the front office has fallen. The WNBA spent 27 years begging for attention. One player delivered in a single season what they could never build. That has to hurt. Wnba Smith is not letting them off the hook. He is calling out how ridiculous it looks for a commissioner to take personal offense because one athlete is getting all the love. In his view, the anger is just a cover for plain incompetence. Every new endorsement deal and every viral moment is another reminder of the decades of opportunities the league missed. Imagine sitting in Engelbert's chair. You were brought in as the corporate problem solver who was supposed to scale this thing. Then outside brands market your sport better than you ever have. That has to feel humiliating. Instead of studying what works and upgrading their own creative teams, the response from the top has been resentment. Smith also tied the boardroom attitude to the hostility in the locker rooms. When the commissioner is openly annoyed by Clark's financial success, the players notice. That attitude trickles down. It sends a message that the star is fair game. Maybe that helps explain some of the cheap shots and dirty plays we have watched all year. To understand the bitterness, you have to look at the culture that has been in charge for a long time. A certain group has treated the WNBA like a social cause more than a business. They expect respect to be handed to them. Then Caitlin Clark shows up as pure commercial power and individual stardom. She does not fit the mold they built. She breaks the hierarchy, and her ads capture that perfectly. She is shown as a solitary force, standing alone. For years the league tried to sell the idea that the Shield and the Collective are the brand. Her sponsors sell her as a standalone icon. That clash over what actually makes money is creating serious friction. The old guard feels betrayed. They see a young player from Iowa explode onto the global stage and feel like their years of work are being erased. It is the same petty energy that kept her off the Olympic team. As Smith has pointed out, that decision was about protecting the hierarchy and teaching her to wait her turn. Sponsors do not care about seniority. They care about who is relevant right now. The collision between modern branding and the slow, rule-heavy league office is creating chaos. Instead of adapting, the commissioner seems to be getting angry at the new reality. Sports are a business. Let's talk numbers. The backlash against Clark's commercials is a perfect example of the management problems Smith keeps highlighting. In the NBA or the NFL, when a star lands a major ad, the league celebrates. It raises the value of the entire product. It sells tickets and merch. So why is the WNBA leadership so bitter? Part of it is that they do not get the credit. Another part is that her endorsement money makes the league look cheap. Fans see her in million-dollar productions and then learn her base salary is roughly $76,000. That gap is impossible to ignore. It forces uncomfortable questions about revenue sharing and why the league still operates like it is broke when its biggest star is printing money. Instead of fixing the business model, leadership gets defensive. It almost feels like they would rather she be less famous so the hard questions go away. They are arguing over scraps while she is building something much bigger. That is a scarcity mindset in pure form. Look at Cathy Engelbert's track record. She was hired as a high-level corporate executive who was supposed to know how to grow a business. The Caitlin Clark boom has left her looking flat-footed. Her public responses have been stiff and unconvincing. Remember the television appearance where she completely fumbled a question about the racial abuse aimed at Clark online? That non-answer blew up in her face. Smith believes the anger we are seeing is rooted in the knowledge that her leadership is now under a microscope. Owners are business people. They see the packed buildings, the merchandise flying off the shelves, and the charter flights the league finally had to fund because of Clark. If the commissioner is viewed as an obstacle instead of an accelerator, her time is limited. The frustration may be pure panic. She is watching the sport move faster than she can and she does not know how to catch up. The new commercial is the perfect symbol of that speed, clean, modern, and instantly global. The league's own marketing still feels stuck in the past. In the battle between current branding and outdated leadership, the commissioner is losing. Call it what it is. Jealousy. Stephen A. Smith has said it. Charles Barkley has said it. We usually talk about players being jealous of each other. Smith is saying the envy goes all the way to the executive floor. Why would a commissioner resent her own player? Because Caitlin Clark currently has more real influence than Cathy Engelbert. The world listens when Clark speaks. Most people could not pick the commissioner out of a lineup. For someone used to being in charge, that is a hard truth to swallow. Regardless of the standings, this commercial locks in Clark as the face of women's basketball. For years the league tried to manufacture stars and decide who the public should care about. Then Clark arrived and the public decided on its own. That loss of control is what is driving the frustration. She does not need their permission or their paycheck. They cannot dictate her deals, her image, or her platform. That independence is a direct threat to their power. You can see the pettiness in small ways, how slowly the official accounts post her highlights compared to other players. Fans have been tracking it all season. The pattern starts at the top. The most revealing part of this whole situation is the silence. When the commercial dropped, did the official WNBA account share it? Did they celebrate their biggest star for bringing new fans into the fold? Did they put out even a simple press release? Nothing. Total radio silence. When NBA stars drop signature shoes or major campaigns, the league amplifies it because they understand it helps everyone. The WNBA's refusal to do the same only confirms what Smith is saying. You ignore your biggest stars' wins when you resent them. That silence is damaging the relationship with the new fans Clark brought in. Those fans can see the double standard clearly. They feel the hostility. More and more of them are starting to view league management as the problem. By refusing to celebrate the commercial, the commissioner is drawing a line. It is the league versus Caitlin Clark, and the league is going to lose that fight. Cultural momentum does not care about organizational pride. Right now Clark is the momentum. Here is the most serious piece of the argument. Executive resentment does not stay in the boardroom. When the people at the top act annoyed by Clark's success, it sends a message to everyone else that targeting her is acceptable. If the commissioner treated her like the asset she clearly is, the environment around her would be safer and more respectful. Instead, the distance and resentment remove that protection. We have watched the hard fouls, the eye pokes, the late hits. Every time the league's response has been slow and weak, Stephen A. Smith connects those dots. When a player makes the bosses feel small, the desire to protect her disappears. Maybe some of them even want to see her struggle. Maybe they are content to let the court police itself so they can claim she is not that special. They want to cut her down to size. Yet every time she answers with another massive commercial, she proves them wrong again. Smith just put the entire situation on blast. If this breakdown opened your eyes, hit the like button and make sure you are subscribed. We are building toward 1,000 subscribers at Hoops Insider, and your support is what gets us there. Thank you for spending your time with us today. I genuinely appreciate every single one of you. See you in the next video.